Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, and to my right, Kris Keprios. What an honor to have this young man in the studio once again. And Kris, it's been, what, months since we've seen you sitting in that chair.
Well, I hosted with Neil a couple shows ago, but I always say, when you need the ratings up, I always get the call, so I'm here to help.
Well, the ratings are going to be high today. And speaking of ratings, we've got a great lineup for you. We're going to be talking about Pigfest, which is, that's a 22nd annual Pigfest. The light up the night with the Greater Winter Haven Junior League. Yeah, I think I said that right. If not, Anna Bostick and Dr. Michelle Henne are going to correct me. And then, of course, a long-standing event. It's like synonymous with sports in Polk County. And Duane Hopkins, from former professor and head of the department at Florida Southern, is going to be joining us and talking about the Polk Senior Games. I mean, what an event that is. And you take a look at the number of people, second only to the state championships, and the talent level is going to be phenomenal. Speaking of talent, let's talk to Bill Tinsley. And Bill, wow, I think we were talking things being synonymous with other things. I mean, synonymous with parks and recreation and sports in the city of Lakeland, Detroit Tigers. Your resume is pretty impressive. And then Colleen Pizzuti, I said that right, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
I always want to say Pizzuti.
He's been practicing for the last hour.
Sitting in my car outside, I know I'm going to get this right. So anyway, welcome aboard. And, it's the 22nd, I believe, annual Pigfest. You've moved from Tigertown out to Sun and Fun, and it's just, every year, I just absolutely enjoy it. I stuff myself, feel like Thanksgiving all over again. But the quality of the food, the fun that goes on, the entertainment, I'm going to let you tell us about it, though, because I could go on for a while on how much I enjoy Pigfest.
Thanks, Mark. Kris, great seeing you guys again. Colleen and I are thrilled, appreciate this opportunity to talk about it a little bit. We're expecting, of course, for those not familiar with the event, we have teams from all over the country. We have competitive professional teams that cook in the barbecue circuit. That'll be here from Oklahoma, from Kansas City, from Michigan, all over the country. And altogether, we'll have almost 150 teams competing in this event. The basis of this event is a contest, but it's turned into Polk County's largest party with anticipating about 40,000 attendees and an awful lot. We're open Friday night on the 26th.
Yes. Yep.
And
from
all
5
day
to 10.
From 5 to 10. And then all day on Saturday, 10 to 5 on Saturday. We expect, with the new facility, of course, our event actually outgrew the footprint at Tigertown with the expansion that happened there. But we were hosted last year at Sun and Fun and plan to be there a long time because the venue, the cook teams love it, that we're able to have a little more elbow room to spread this 40,000 people out over the weekend. But great time, had ball, great lineup of entertainment. Colleen, tell them a little bit about the event.
I thought you were going to say tell them about the entertainment. I was like, oh, okay.
Are you the entertainment, Colleen?
No, I'm not.
Colleen
No,
is
I'm not.
Yeah,
I do provide a lot of entertainment, but no, I'm not the entertainment.
Grant Cachet and his ukulele come up.
No, we do have great. But of course, our website will tell everybody all the information
Which
on
is?
there. What is it? Lakeland Pigfest.
Lakeland Pigfest. You just type in lakelandpigfest.org and you're there. And the website does have all of the entertainment listed and so forth. What I really want Colleen to do is talk a little bit about volunteers, because Colleen all year long works with our volunteers to prepare for this event, and to handle this many people.
You talk about 40,000 people, that's a lot of volunteers.
It takes a ton of volunteers to put this event on nuts and bolts. So.
We're really unique. We are a fundraiser, so the money that we raise at Pigfest does go right back to our community. And there are 5 nonprofits that make up our volunteers: Girls Inc., Learning Resource Center, Explorations 5, Alliance for Independence, and I said Explorations, sorry.
Family Fun.
Yeah, I was like, Boys and Girls Club, Girls Inc. I'm sorry, I'm like, it'll come to you if I don't think about it. Learning Resource Center.
Yep.
AFI. So these nonprofits, though, they are responsible for providing all the volunteers based on their area, and then the percentage of their hours is how then the money is divided at the end. But they do an incredible, incredible job. You know, last year we moved to Sun and Fun, and we really threw a monkey wrench at them, and we said, you know, hey, we're moving here. We really need you to be flexible, and they've done incredible things. And even this year too, you know, we're trying to work out kinks, and we think we're going to have a much smoother event, a fantastic event. But they really roll with the punches that we give them. And the great thing, though, is that everything that they do in the community, you know, all of those agencies do phenomenal work. So we're really excited to partner with them and know that the money that we raise does go right back into our community.
And you both mentioned a couple times the move to Sun and Fun, and again, the event is at Sun and Fun the 26th and 27th of January. Talk about some of the feedback that you got. Obviously, it was positive from the many thousands of people that came last year about the move. And again, like you said, Bill, you had to move because of the changes at Tiger Town, but it may have been a blessing in disguise because you have this large expanse at Sun and Fun.
Absolutely. I will tell you that because you know me, and I always go straight to the negative as well. The negative is that we had a real challenge getting all of this huge crowd off of Pipkin Road and into the venue.
Like they do for the fly-in.
So we've, exactly. The feedback that we've gotten, we listened to it, and we think we've doctored the program, if you will. We've eliminated a parking fee, so we will not be collecting parking. We've doubled the number of attendants. We've tripled the number of lights in the parking lots and the security and police in an effort to get you to the venue. In lieu of parking, there's a $2 for adult over 12 admission fee that will be collected once you're in the lot and so forth. So we think that transition, the intent of that transition is strictly to smooth out what was our only negative last year. The positive feedback is very obvious in terms of the returning teams. It takes over 200 judges, for example, to do this event. We had over 200 judges within 30 days of our registration opening online. So we know we're the first big event, large event in the state and in the South, and a lot of these teams want to come down and taste some of our sunshine that time of year, and we benefit from like everybody else does in sports in Florida from our weather.
And don't forget to mention too, we do have a kids barbecue competition on Saturday.
Really?
Kids
Yes.
Cube. Oh, it's incredible.
This is local kids that participated?
This is kids that, one of my favorite pieces of the event, on Saturday morning, Publix, one of our primary sponsors, furnishes a piece of chicken and a piece of steak. And it's like having NASCAR where everybody has equal cars. We furnish grills as part of their entry fee. We furnish them a grill. Lakeland Fire Department comes and lights their grill. And the children compete and are judged just like the big boy competition, receive full trophies and awards and so forth. Saturday morning, you can register online for Kids Q. But those 40 or 50 kids that are in that competition, it's just as important to them as it is those teams traveling from out of state.
You ever get any of these kids that just like burn black? You know, their steaks.
Drop on the ground,
Yeah,
pick it back up.
We have absolutely, when you've got a 5-year-old being directed by their parents and you have children, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't always go the way it was planned or practiced, okay?
That's right.
So yes, the answer is it's pretty wide variety, but we got good judges that love kids and they endure.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Kris. Go
I
ahead.
have 22 years of knowing about the event. I've heard of this, but never heard of it. What it's involved? They get the grill provided. They do it. I mean, they just show up, throw the meat on the grill, and they're cooking. That's amazing.
It is. It's such a cool event, and you register online. You'll find out. Not only do they get their $35 entry fee to get in the event, they take the grill home.
Oh wow!
Really?
At the end of the event.
What kind of grill is it?
It's a nice little Weber.
A little smoker thing?
Tailgate.
Yeah.
Tailgate style.
Man, what's the age limit? Can I get in on this? Kids
your
Q?
kids can.
You can sign up Henne and Grant.
Yeah.
Hannah and Grant can do it. You'll be in Detroit trying to get all of the Northerners
down
now.
here, yeah.
We can certainly
Absolutely.
take care of them. But
Well, this is actually the state championships, correct?
it is. It is. It was declared. We go all the way back to Childs, okay, when it was declared the state championship, because we have three three basically planks that the Pigfest board that's in its 22nd year of existence now. We wanted to create a great community event for families, okay? We wanted to promote barbecue, and that's why it's been an easy task for us to have great partners like Publix, Kingsford Charcoal, been with us from year one, these great sponsors that help make this happen. But promoting barbecue, if you look around, barbecue came alive over the last 22 years as a sport and a competition, and an awful lot of good barbecue gets cooked at home because of recipes they learned by walking around. And the third plank is we wanted to give back to the community. And we're going to probably hit the 2 million total mark in terms of funds returned. 100% of everything we make and our time, all of our volunteers, 100% of that goes back directly to the community. Last year we were able to award those volunteers for their various organizations, those nonprofits, $148,000.
Wow. It's a lot of pig bucks.
That's
right?
a lot of pig bucks and a lot of logistics to get there. But we're meeting all three goals.
Well, the event, for those of you that are wondering or just tuned in, is January 26th and 27th. The location, Sun and Fun Fly-In Campus. And if you haven't been out there in a while, you need to go out and check that out. Certainly with the Central Florida Aviation Academy and everything that they have to offer, this is a great opportunity to take the family. It's a fun time, superb food, wonderful entertainment, some nice volunteers, if you will. And all in all, you know, you just can't go wrong, and it's $2 admission fee. I mean, wow.
Free
and
parking,
yep, free parking, and then the currency out there are pig bucks. Yes. So there's not a lot of confusion. You don't have to worry about stuff. You pay one time, you get your pig bucks, or you can pay 10 times if you want, and have at it.
And the currency conversion rate is currently 1 to 1, right?
Yes.
$1 US to pig bucks.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have 5 piggy banks there, so
Okay.
you won't have any trouble finding the bucks.
Well, thank you so much, Colleen.
Thank you, Jim.
And
Thank you.
Bill, it's always a pleasure to see you, and hey, we'll look forward to seeing you, but not that weekend, because
Yeah.
Kris and I are going to be in Detroit.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, guys.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Well, one of the things that Polk County is really known for, and we're going to talk with a couple of young ladies in just a few minutes about the Light Up the Night event in Winter Haven. However, another running event, this is, you know, Polk County has really become running central for the state of Florida. It really has been. But one of the events is called a Spartan race, held down by Mulberry on the Mims Ranch, and there were thousands of people participating in this. Another great event for Polk County, pumping millions of dollars into our local businesses. Got to check this out, everyone. Some great action, a lot of fun down in Mulberry. This is the Spartan race. Stick around.
At Spartan, you can earn elite points if you run in the elite category. So they take your top 5 races throughout the whole season, and then they rank you. So they give like a season pass to top 20. They do a payout for top 10. So you can chase points. For a beast, you get more. Sprint, you get less. So it works like that. I normally do like 1 to 2 a month, 1 to 2 races a month, yeah. So I'm trying to get on the Spartan Pro team, so that's the goal for 2018. Mainly I was just chasing points for the point series at Spartan. So I ended up yesterday 3rd overall. So 3rd in the United States with the win yesterday, and then came back today and took the win. The obstacles were perfect. They were spread out really nice. Normally Beast there's so much running and not that many obstacles, but Garfield did a great job with the course layout.
Everybody, welcome back. Segment number 2, Sports Central, and we have a couple of people, a couple of organizations to thank that certainly make all of this possible.
Yes,
part of it.
Office Furniture Depot and Harry's Old Place, great partners of tourism and sports in Polk County, so we thank them, of course, for that.
Absolutely. Well, we talked earlier about having some VIPs on the show. This, not only the segment, the entire show,
whole
everyone.
time.
And Kris, I think for as long as I can remember, this event, the Polk Senior Games, has been the pinnacle of sports, for our senior athletes. When I say senior, I'm not quite there yet.
No?
No,
Not yet?
no, not yet. It's 50 and
So
over.
you can't register?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, it's one of those things. But
We'll have
here,
to ask our next guest.
yeah, well, here to tell us all about it is former head of the business department at Florida Southern College, and a good friend of ours, and one of the icons, if you will, of the Polk Senior Games, Duane Hopkins. And Duane, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for inviting me to be here. I'm excited to talk about the games as always.
Well, the games are a lot of fun. And how many events in total?
Well, there are 40 events technically, we list on the schedule, but there are actually 99. When you break down all the track events, the swimming events,
Wow.
15 different dancing events, there are 99 events. There's one called the Scootin' Gootin' Boogie or something like that.
Boot Scootin' Boogie?
Don't ask me to do that. But
That sounds like one Mark would be
I
perfect
bet he
for.
would be good at that. I bet he'd be good at that. But
As long as I don't have to wear a skirt, you know.
yeah. And they take place all over the county. This is really a county-wide activity.
But it lasts like, what, 2 weeks,
Starts on
right?
February the 24th and it goes for 2 weeks. We have a nice opening ceremony at All Saints School between Lakeland and Winter Haven. We carry in the torch, Olympic style.
So this is like the Olympics for Central Florida.
It is,
And you
really.
don't even have to be a resident.
That's right. No residence requirement at all. You simply have to be 50 years of age or older. So I know Kris won't make it this year,
Yeah.
but
So you're a couple years away from that, you
Yeah,
said?
yeah, at least,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
so we've got events for everybody too, the 99 events, and we call it the games, and I think that's a good name. I know this is Sports Central,
Yeah.
but when we say sports, we tend to think of tennis and baseball and softball and bowling and all that kinds of things, but I think this is really a holistic group of games, because if you're not able or you choose not to be physically actively involved, you can play chess or checkers or bridge or Sudoku, and on the list goes. There are just so many wonderful games that appeal to everybody.
Well, you know, it's very much like Polk County sports marketing approach, that it doesn't necessarily have to involve physical activity to be a competition. It's really, you know, almost sports marketing is almost a misnomer in some ways, the majority of sports, but, you know, the mind sports. And now there's a whole esports.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You know, the people that play video games and all sorts of stuff. So I think that's fantastic. And, you know, the adaptive athletes, you know, they have an opportunity to still compete, but it may not be on the dance floor or the basketball court, whatever.
And it's nice that we compete by age group. So 50 to 54 and 55 to 59. And of course we award medals just as the Olympics do, gold, silver, and bronze. So it's quite an activity.
Yeah.
And there's not just the participants involved. I think it's important, as your previous guest mentioned, to talk about the volunteers involved. Yes, last year we had just under 2,600 people participating as games players, but we had more than 700 volunteers working to make this happen.
Wow.
So we're talking about 3,500 people involved each year in making this a success.
It's like a beehive.
Yeah, yeah, and Mark mentioned that this has really been a staple in the sports world in Polk County for many, many years. Talk a little bit about the history behind the games, because we were talking off camera about Nancy Thornberry, who is a Polk County Sports Hall of Fame member now, who has been heavily involved and instrumental in
So
this.
glad you brought that up, Kris, because indeed she has been heavily involved. Matter of fact, it was her visit to New York State back in the early 90s to watch her brother play in the National Senior Games that provided the inspiration for her to come back and try to put the games together here. And she's a real mover, a doer.
Dynamo.
And she, good word.
Doesn't like-
Mark. And she was able to put it together, get some major support from Publix, from the Homer and Annette Thompson legacy, from James Sykes family, from CPS investors, and other supporters to get the thing off the ground. First time it was offered was '92. There were 777 participants that first year. And as I said, last year there were 2,588, almost 2,600 people participating. So she really deserves the major credit for the games.
Well, I remember when they first started, and a lot of credit. You were talking about people that were instrumental. Lois Harp, you know, a name that a lot of the young people don't remember anymore, but he was Polk County Parks and Recreation Director, a heck of an athlete. And his son now is one of the directors of Polk County Leisure Services. But Lois was extremely supportive and actually allowed Nancy and some others to work out of their office there in Bartow.
Yeah, and they still do. That's still where the office is.
So,
You know, and most of us are volunteers. I'm here this morning as a volunteer, a member of the board.
yeah.
We have one salaried employee who's our executive director, The rest of us are volunteers.
Yeah.
And without the volunteers that we have, the game simply couldn't happen. The same is true for sponsors.
Yeah.
You know, we have about 250 plus sponsors in the Polk community.
Wow.
So it really is a community-wide, a Polk-wide. Even though you don't have to be a resident to participate, it's really a Polk-wide activity.
And it all gets started February 24th, but obviously there's probably time for people to still sign up. How does registrate? Can they sign up on site even?
No, you
events?
can't do that, Chris.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked that question too. You must sign up in advance, and the registration must be completed by February the 9th,
Okay.
which gives us 2 weeks to put the rosters together, assign sites, and so on and so forth. And it's important to remember that. And if you haven't received one of these little booklets that has the registration form in it, you can simply call the office in Bartow at 533-0055, or you can go online to polkseniorgames.org, and there you can download the registration form, but it must be mailed in. We're not yet equipped to accept electronic payments online, but that has to be received by February 9th for you to be eligible to compete.
Well, it's, you know, it's interesting. I'm looking at the prices. $10.
Prices?
Yeah, fees, $10 for the first event, $3 for every event thereafter. Unbelievable.
To a maximum of $28. Now, if you've got more than 10 events that you can work into your schedule here,
Yeah, well,
you can do that and still pay no more than $28.
If you're doing more than that,
So
you save your money and see a psychologist afterwards. You're going to need one. Yeah, that is unbelievable. I know, looking at some of these events, I mean, people wouldn't even think about billiards, bocce ball, bowling, bridge, checkers, chess, cribbage. I mean, it's just
How about
unbelievable.
fly casting, fishing?
Yeah.
Huh?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right
come
there.
on.
And the one that always stands out to me is pickleball. That seems to have grown so much
Oh, that
over
has
the last
really
few
mushroomed.
years.
That's the game we play in Point Siena,
Uh-huh.
at the facility there. So we have facilities all over the county: Lakeland, Haines City, Bartow, Winter Haven, Auburndale, Fort Meade, Point Siena. So it really is a community-wide, holistic approach to this business.
Yeah, and does this, so obviously there's the Florida Senior Games as well. Does this feed into that? So winners from this participate, then move on to the
As
state?
a matter of fact, Chris, it does. People who finish in the top 5 in their game here qualify to participate in that game at the state level. The state games take place every year. They've been played the last few years in the Clearwater area.
Here.
And through the state games, you can qualify for the national games, which are held biannually in odd-numbered years. So this is a year to compete and to qualify for the national games through the state games.
But you know what? As I'm looking, when you look at the sports industry, you really divide it up into indoor sports and outdoor sports. Some obviously you can do either. Pickleball is an example of that. You know, you can play it outdoors, you can play it indoors. But with the new Winter Haven Field House, 85,000 square feet, and conference center there opening in October of 2019, that would be a phenomenal place for a lot of these competitions, thus cutting down the need for heavy volunteers, because you can group them, you know, cluster.
Yeah.
You know, I got to make sure that I use all these words correctly because, you know, the professor here.
I know, yeah.
You gotta,
Yeah, right.
what's Sudoku?
That's that game
I
where you
brought
put
my
the
little book
numbers in.
over there while I was waiting. I played a little game of Sudoku.
Okay.
You see that in the newspaper every day, right beside the crossword puzzles in the, in the ledger, for example.
You see it on the airplanes if you're in the back, usually in the back of the Delta or whatever.
And that reminds me
airline
to mention
magazine.
that, as I said earlier, this is not just for the physically active. Our aim is to do what? Promote friendly competition, to provide for the health and well-being of our population, to get some new friendships involved, and also to promote volunteerism. But we're concerned not just with the physical body, but with this part too, hence checkers and chess and Sudoku and games like that. It's the whole person that we're interested here.
Mind, body, and spirit.
That's right. Keep them active as long as we can, both spiritually and physically.
You bet. Well, it's you know, it's just phenomenal stuff. And you watch these athletes. In fact, we have Jeannie Beyer, who is former professional water skier at Cypress Gardens, and she competes, I think, in high jump and some of the running events. You know, and she had the same shape she had when she was 25 years old, you know, but she's in really good shape. And she says it's one of the best times of the whole year for her.
You know, last year we honored people who had been in all 25 years of the games. This is the 26th. And we had more than 20 people who have been with the game since they started in 1992. And you'd be surprised how many 90-year-old peoples we had in the games last year. And the
90?
How about 102?
Wow.
One competitor was 102.
What did they compete in? Do you remember?
Well, he has been
Sudoku?
a competitor in bowling. Last year, one of my other volunteer duties is to announce the swimming event. And Arlen Mead was in the pool swimming the 1500,
Wow.
or the 500, excuse me, the 500 meter. 102 years old, and we expect him to be back this year. So, what to shoot for? It's something to shoot for, all of us.
He'd probably beat me. I would guess. I'd be scared to
Swim like a rock, right?
Yeah, I'd be scared to go up against him. But.
Well, Duane, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And again, it's polkseniorgames.org.
.org, and the key thing is to be sure to register by February 9 so that you get a chance to participate.
Okay.
If you need one of those books, it's 533-0055.
Right, exactly,
Wow.
Chris.
Write
Good
stuff
memory,
down.
man. Yeah, I can tell you're not over 50. You got
Yeah,
that?
if he does register, you need to check his birth certificate. 'Cause he's one that would probably register in like the 50-year-old category, but try to clean up on gold medals, but he's really like 60.
There you
so
go. Right.
Watch him.
Well, great to see you again.
Thanks a lot
and,
for having-
a guy
for
that's
having me.
involved in not only volunteering for the Polk Senior Games, but was a big part of our community as part of Florida Southern College. And again, what an icon in the world of education here in Polk County. So very thankful for that. Well, you know, we have some really interesting events going on in Polk. One of those events, actually the same weekend as the Senior Games, or part leading up to it, I should say. And I didn't quite get that right, but the 26th and the 27th. It's called the Alafia River Rendezvous. It's down by Homeland Heritage Park, which is between Bartow and the wonderful city of Fort Meade. So if you get a chance, first of all, check this video out, and then take your family, and if you want to see how people lived before 1840, this is phenomenal. I've been there. I enjoyed it. Have you taken your family out there
I
yet?
haven't yet, no.
Oh.
I've always heard great things about
It
it. You talk
is-
about history and heritage. This is the top event in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend the whole day there and talk to people. There's demonstrations, there's games, there's all sorts of fun things to do. Eat and drink. There is snacks, so
Yeah.
I'll definitely
That's why
enjoy
you're
that.
there.
Yeah. Anyway, Alafia River Rendezvous from 2015. Check this out, everybody. But it's coming up as well, January 26 and 27. Check it out.
It's all about early American history, and the motto this rendezvous is bridging the gap to our ancestors, because we need to learn from our past and appreciate those who built the United States of America from the ground up. We would like to dress up in the personas and the clothing that they would have worn, so that's basically the living history part of it, doing the things that they would have done, so that we have not only a knowledge of what they've done, but also a good understanding and a feel for how they would have felt in doing the activities that we do.
This is the caber toss.
We have a full docket of activities for the participants, who are the people who are camping here in the tents. We have things, children's games, women's games. Currently today is Tuesday, and we're having Highland games. We have a full range of activities of competitions, muzzleloading firearm, shooting, paper targets, woods walk, and we have archery competition going on currently right now. We also have knife and hawk throwing, just the same traditions that the early mountain men, when they got together and started bragging rights about who's the better shot or who can throw a tomahawk better or a knife, and their archery skills with the Indians. So we're basically portraying the early American life on pre-1840, which was the last year of the Mountain Man Rendezvous.
This is my wife's shawl, and it's beaded all the way up through here. And this is actually a replica from a museum out west. I forgot which museum.
This is an English yew bow, and traditionally a lot of the woodsmen would carry their bows with them along with their rifles, because they didn't, if they could take the shot with an arrow, they wouldn't have to waste the lead of the bullet.
This is a stove that was quite common all the way in Europe into colonial America. They built a fire in there and get it hot, and then you can bake in it like you would at home, just like a regular oven. And it holds the heat for a long time. The clay that came from it was from this property also. If you notice over here, this is my pride and joy. I've been working on that. A buddy and I bought this back. It's called a Nissan wagon. Actually, we got this in Georgia, but they were made in Raleigh, North Carolina up until the 20s. Now, a lot of people have said that these were shaped like a boat so they could go across the river. They weren't. They were built this way because it keeps the load centered, the gravity centered on the load. They all had a toolbox. And if you notice, when you come around to the back, you'll see a feed box that comes off so you can feed the horses. When Benjamin Franklin helped organize the wagons for Braddock, they were required to put their name of the farmer who owned that wagon on there. And they were also required to take a sickle with them. Why would you need a sickle? You got to feed the horses, so they'd have to go out and cut the grass to feed the horses and stuff at night.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Segment number 3 of Sports Central, Kris. And who do we have to thank this this go-round?
Abuelos is who we have to thank this go-round. So we thank them for being a great partner of tourism and sports.
And I love their
Polk
cheese
County.
Enchiladas are awesome.
They have a great gluten-free menu as well.
Oh, do they
I have
really?
To say, yes.
I didn't know that. Well,
Yeah.
Dean Andrews is the proprietor there. And when it comes to good Southern hospitality at a Mexican restaurant, doesn't get any better.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a mouthful. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah,
But
Alafia River Rendezvous, like you said, the footage was awesome. That is a cool event. I'll have to check it out.
You get me on track pretty quick, very subtly.
That's
all
my job.
Good. Okay. Well, speaking of all good, we've got 2 good ladies here, and they're going to, you know, this event takes place every single year. In fact, I think it's the 6th, but if I'm wrong, both Dr. Michelle and Anna Bostick are going to correct me, as usual, just like at home. So you know how that goes, Kris. But the 6th annual Light Up the Night is a 5K. Is there a 10K too?
A great question, Mark. It's actually just a 5K, and you're correct. It's our 6th annual event. So
Good job.
50%'s not bad, Kris. You know,
One for Mark.
One for Mark.
Exactly.
There you go. And I really should have introduced them individually, because Dr. Michelle Henne is the physician, if you haven't figured that out. I mean, like a doctor.
Thus the name doctor.
Yeah, you know, or is it correct to say orthopod?
Yes,
Really?
I often am referred to as an orthopod. I am a non-surgical orthopedic doctor. I specialize in overuse arthritis, sports injuries, and sports concussions.
I've got arthritis.
I was going to say, did you have a chance to talk to Duane
Duane.
from the senior games? They may need, some of their participants may need
Exactly.
afterwards. They're participating in 10, 20 different events.
I'm
Very
telling
true.
you,
I couldn't
Well,
do
we were
it.
talking to Bill Tinsley, you know, who came in for Pigfest, and he had surgery on his hands, and of course I'm part Norwegian. He says it's real common in Norwegians to have this, but I've got a little bit of arthritis, and you know, I was just like, oh boy, I hope I don't have to deal with that. Well, I've got a doctor I can go to, and
There you go.
Exactly,
she
true
can
story.
straighten my
Dr. Michelle.
Dr. Michelle. Anyway, and Anna Bostick, of course, if you're at all familiar with Polk County, the name Bostick is, you know, one of those big-time business organizations here in Polk
Kind of a
County.
big
I got
deal.
some great hunting property
know.
up in South Carolina that I've just happened to enjoy a couple of
Awesome.
times. And,
That's
and
wonderful.
man, like I said, I stay on track. Unbelievable. Let's talk about Light Up the Night, because it's the Junior League of Greater Winter Haven.
Exactly.
You know, I can never remember the acronym, but I can say, you know, what it says.
JLGWH.
Yeah,
That's
and
correct,
it's
Chris, exactly.
the packet pickup is March 1st, but the event itself is Friday, March 2nd, right?
That's correct, exactly. So Michelle, and as
Yeah.
Michelle knows, we're with our route this year.
That's
so-
right. Yep. So we'll be starting at 7 p.m. and we start from downtown Winter Haven, and then we'll come up and around Lake Silver. So who knows? Maybe the water skiers will still be out, but probably not since it will be dark. And then we'll end up at Grove Roots.
I remember that from last year because Mary Beth ran in it,
Yeah.
and so, hey, it's great if you don't
that where you
run,
wait?
and I'm not a runner, you know, so yeah, I just go to Grove Roots and hang out, and
Exactly.
you know, by the time everybody, you know, comes in, it's party time.
And
you
that's
know?
the great thing about Grove Roots. It's such a family-friendly place. It's something, you know, it's a great place for us all to gather. So, and what we love about our
And it's
event,
family-oriented, too.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
games for kids. I mean, it's a great
Exactly.
meeting
It's not a
establishment.
brewery.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something for everybody, which definitely applies to our event. You know, this 5K is something that we encourage all age levels, all skill levels to attend. And of course, as you know, you guys know, 100% of our proceeds go back to benefit our projects in our community. So.
We'll talk a little bit about some of those projects.
Oh, we
because
love our
my
yeah.
favorite is the Kids in the Kitchen.
Yes,
I know
of
you just held one the
course,
other
exactly.
night.
We did.
At the
we
Boys
did.
and Girls Club.
And Mark, we're
Yeah.
so thankful to Mary Beth, your wife, who's chairing our event this year. So she and Katie Brooks are chairing it. And so Kids in the Kitchen, we have partnered with Girls Inc. for the past couple of years. And we go once a month and work with different classes. And we teach the girls about the importance of healthy living and how to make some different fun, healthy snacks that they can do on their own at home. So that's one
Like
of our...
ants on a log.
Yes, ants along.
That's my
Mark and
favorite.
I, in the break, we're talking about some different variations we could try, so that might be fun. So,
Well, and you do a feeding
yes, we do. Speaking
at
of
the Mission.
exactly,
Or a couple of different locations,
exactly.
right?
Well, that's our mobile food pantry, which is a project that I absolutely love. About 4 to 5 times a year, we purchase enough food to feed about 200 families, enough for a week. So it's really incredible. We go to different areas around our community where the need is greatest. So like Mark's referring to, in November, we went to Our Lady of Guadalupe mission, which we've tried to do every year, and we're received so warmly, and it's such an incredible experience. So next we'll be doing Grace Lutheran on February 17th. So we're really excited about that project. And then we have our newest project, which is our Stork Pile project. And with Stork Pile, we're working with the Winter Haven Hospital's Women's Hospital, and the social workers there are confidentially, of course, identifying women who are in great need and financially. And so we put together baskets. Our goal is to do about 10 to 12 each year. And each basket is worth about $150 of newborn essentials. So we have the diapers, the wipes, monitors, you know, and if anyone who's had a child or knows someone who's had a child knows how difficult that time can be financially. So no matter, you know, what your household income is, it's definitely some sacrifices. And so we're happy that we can provide them with something that's going to help them get the best start that they can. So, And lastly, we have our teacher mini grant, so which we do twice a year. We give out 10 teacher grants worth up to $250.
Wow,
yeah, it's amazing. And so these teachers
Great
are able,
organization.
we love it. They implement new projects in their classrooms. We get pictures back on things that they've done and with the money, and it's really, really incredible.
So everything you just described, those are the programs that this event supports. So
Exactly.
that's so important for people to sign up, to come out. And you talked about it ends at Grove Roots, but the all-important packet pickup is there as well. That's the day
Great
before?
question, exactly. Packet pickup at Grove Roots the day before and day of, and then we move over to Central Park for before race time.
That's right. Yep. So we're focusing on the health, the wellness, families coming together. Like she said, all ages can participate. And then at the end of it, getting anyone who may not want to participate in the running side coming in and being able to socialize and come together.
Exactly.
You know, Michelle, the sport of running, okay, has endless variety of different sizes, shapes, genders, you know, all of that stuff. But people that get into running, what would be your advice? I mean, you're the expert, you're the doctor.
Absolutely.
You don't just have to start running, you can walk, and you can even walk in this, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. So this event is a walk, jog, run, all different variations, and last year we even had quite a few different rollers too.
Rollers?
So, absolutely, yes. So we
Like they roll on the ground, or?
well, so to involve folks who may be working with different adaptive things, we have folks who participate in wheelchairs, and it is a lot of fun because it is at night, so it is glow based. So often people are coming in and they've brought different things that glow up in the dark, and it really is, it's a lot of fun. But when you're talking about running, the biggest thing that I would say when people are going to transition into running is to transition slowly. Everything should be progressive. You don't skydive without a parachute. You start with the different steps at the beginning, and that will help you be prepared for if you're deciding to do a half marathon, a marathon, maybe even Ironman on down the road.
Well, your practice.
Yeah, so I opened up a new practice, Releve Sports Medicine on Cypress Gardens Boulevard, and it's brand
Right
new
by
in this
Legoland.
area. Right by Legoland.
Cypress Station.
In Cypress Station,
Right
that's
above the
correct.
wine bar.
Yes, yes. So I'm the first tenant on the second floor, right by the elevator, which is important. The elevator is definitely an important component. And so it's a new service in this community. I've been out working with several of the different high schools, working with the different local universities, helping to fill what I have found is a void in this area in terms of medical care being provided. And I'm so thrilled because there is so much room for improvement, and that's what I want to help bring to this community.
Well, that's one of the things about Polk County. We track the brightest and the best,
Exactly.
and it's really an honor to have you here. And then, of course, you partner up with Anna, and it's got wow.
Well, we're going to be thankful to have Michelle. She will be chairing this event next year, and it'll be great to have her on hand the night of and the next day.
Right.
And for participants who are interested in registering,
right, yeah.
they can go to our website, www.jlgwh.com. You can also register online on active.com,
Right.
or follow us on our Facebook page, which is the Junior League of Greater Winter Haven.
Which is bettering the lives of women and children.
Exactly,
That's
is our
your
mission. Exactly, we're
Yeah.
training women leaders and using volunteerism as that vehicle
Well,
to
if you're
do
a
it.
Peter Drucker fan, who I am, they all said that your mission statement should be 7 words or less. So you guys fit right in there.
Exactly.
And
The
no,
event
go right
is
ahead, Kris.
March 2nd, but there are some
Exactly.
registration deadlines if you want to get a special rate and things like that.
That's right. So Valentine's Day is the cutoff on our special rate.
Clever.
Exactly.
That's hard to
Get
forget.
something for you and your
Nice
sweetheart, a
Valentine's
nice
present, right?
discount. Exactly.
That's a great idea.
Exactly.
We're just full
a
of
couple
them
that
over here.
runs together, stays together. So
Got to help the guys out here.
Exactly.
We need all the help we can get.
And then also, so before Valentine's Day or on Valentine's Day, 25, but then it goes up to 30 after that. So everybody wants to get in early, register,
Exactly.
jlgwh.org. And then also the packet, we talked about that. What's in that? That's Mark's always in it for the goodies. So
Oh yes, exactly. We always have
What do
some
runners
wonderful T-shirt this year, especially if you register early. You're guaranteed a T-shirt, and our swag bags are always filled with fun goodies from all of our wonderful sponsors.
Awesome.
So we're very excited about
Well,
it.
300 or 400 people, and of course it starts at the Grove Roots Brewery, which
I'm so
and don't
glad.
let the Grove Roots Brewery fool you, because they have games for kids.
They
have, you know, what's that? Is it Chenga or some that thing they stack stuff?
Jenga, yes,
Jenga, yeah.
exactly.
Jenga.
Yeah, so
Something
you
like
can
that.
start there for your packet pickup, but our race actually begins in Central Park. So
ends
yep,
at Grove
exactly.
Roots.
So it's a different route. So you'll see different things on your route. So
Awesome.
I've got my viewing area already mapped out. 'Cause I did this
Very
last,
important, yeah.
not as a runner, but as a spectator. You know,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I run from the kitchen to the bathroom maybe or whatever, but that, you know,
Mark doesn't want to run because he doesn't want to just jump right into a 5K.
that's
Exactly.
why I'm
He's
taking
taking
Dr.
his time.
Michelle's advice.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Baby steps.
That's right. Well, ladies, thanks so much for joining us. We certainly blessed to have both of you in the community. The Junior League, and that's, you know, the acronym, you can say it, but the Junior League of Greater Winter Haven, the acronym is
JLGWH.org. for the website.
.org. Make sure you check it out and see all the great things that they do in the community. And ladies, once again, it was great to see you. I
thank you both
probably
so much
see you
for this
over by
opportunity.
your office
Yeah.
fairly soon here, but
You have an appointment?
Absolutely. You're welcome to stop on by.
Michelle and I have an appointment.
Okay.
Yes. So at Grape Expectations.
Exactly.
So if you know where that is, that's where Michelle's office is. And once again, Junior League of Greater Winter Haven. You guys do unbelievably great work. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You bet, ladies. All right, everybody. Well, you know, I think the first time that I saw that event, and you know, of course, as I said 100 times, I haven't run in the thing, but Mary Beth did. But it really is organized really well. It's a fun event.
Sure.
You know, and if you're a crazy runner, like if you're under 18 years old, I think the registration fee is like $15 or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. So, you know, it's a great opportunity. Don't forget the date. If you want early registration, February 14th, Valentine's Day, guys. Or girls.
And
you
the
know.
race is March 2nd. They got to be doing something right if they're on their 6th annual. So, like you said, it's a great event.
Oh, it's a wonderful event. Well, speaking of wonderful, athlete spotlight, up close and personal is what I like to call it. But you know, regardless of what it is, we have some really great people here in Polk County, both on and off the field. A gentleman in our up close and personal athlete spotlight is Jeriah Henry.
From Lake Gibson. Yeah.
Jeriah Henry.
Produced
He's a
some great football players. in the
Football, they
past.
got a heck of a wrestling team too.
Yes.
I mean, they are really, really strong. He actually from Lake Wales High School.
I'm sorry, why did I say Lake Gibson? I
I
can't
know you're
read.
thinking of wrestling, I guess. But
Lake,
anyway,
Lake Wales has
from
some
Lake
great
Wales.
football players that have come out of there as
Oh,
well.
they've had some really good athletes coming out of there. Anyway, we have an up close and personal athlete spotlight. Jeriah Henry, check it out, everybody. Kris and Mark, we'll be back right after this.
When I first got to high school, freshman, you know, I was still kind of small. I'm linky. I'm still linky, but you know, I was very short, like a 5'5" kind of kid, and I played QB. I'm like, man, I'm going to high school. I'm like, these guys are gonna crush me. And I talked to Coach Johnson about it, and it was he talking about it's just fear. So I got into it, you know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Football helped me getting out of being pampered and just be that dog, so to say. Just get up and do it. Like, you may not agree with it, you know. It doesn't matter about ability, just knowing how to do it. And once you got that down, you know, you'll be all right. Just do it, like Nike say. To me, the hardest part is preparing, going through all that, you know, hard work. The game's supposed to be fun. I love the game. But summer and practice, I hate it. I hate it so much. I completely tore my ACL, slightly tore my MCL, and I blew out my meniscus, so it was pretty bad. My therapist, shout out to my therapist, Kris and Gary. They told me out of a scale from 1 to 10 recovery, they said I was a 12. So it was great. It took 5 months, and it was pretty hard, especially the stretching part. I hated it. They had to put weights and let my leg hang down and stuff like that. I hated that part, but I'm glad I went through. I'm glad I didn't quit, because that was tough. You just have to deal with change. That's what football teaches you: change and maturity, how to be a man, how to deal with adversity. You're nothing without your teammates. It's like chess. The king cannot be protected by his pawns and bishops and all this stuff like that. It's all one unity to get the job done. We have a great coaching staff, like Coach Johnson. I know him for most of my life, and he's like a mentor to me, almost like people sort of say a godfather. And I just, we haven't always had great conversations of I've came to him angry a few times, like man, this and that. I'm like, why is this happening to me and stuff like that. And we just sit back and we talk about God and how to get through things, and try to point me in the right direction and help me explain some things to me, why things the way it is, and with colleges and things like that, and knowing what to do on the field and off the field. And he's almost like my mother and my grandmother always stand on me about do this and that. This game taught me so much of just work on the little things, because the little things can pile up to put you in a deep situation. Me, I plan on continue playing ball, baseball and football-wise, and I also want to be a physical massage therapist. And to be a massage therapist, you have to chase entrepreneurship and open up your business and things like that.
Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson here along with Kris Keprios.
Full show so far today.
It's been a barn burner.
Yeah, this segment is brought to us, sponsored by Hollywood Signs. We want to thank them for all that they do, and actually just installed some beautiful new signs out at Harborside, another one of our great partners. Yep. Great picture spot in Polk County.
Yeah, so you can go to Harborside, shoot a picture right there on the lake during the sunset, and of course Hollywood Signs located in Bartow.
Yeah,
I mean, they got the stuff that they do is just unbelievable and affordable too. So anyway, Lakeland Magic, Kris, I know you're a big fan, and as am I, but they've had an interesting season so far. They're actually leading the division at one time.
Yeah, and they're still right up there. They had a little bit of a losing streak. They went on the road for several games. Actually, it's funny, turned on the TV last night, and they are playing on NBA TV during the G League Showcase game.
Really?
So playing Memphis, they won last night, but they have some home games coming up. They got the Erie Bayhawks coming in on January 17th, the Greensboro Swarm on the 23rd. So some great action there at the RP Funding Center. It really is a great brand of basketball. I mean, these are some of the top college players that have been drafted in the recent years. So it's a lot of fun to watch.
And some of them are going back and forth from Orlando and actually playing with them. One guy was playing in Lakeland one night. He had to guard LeBron James the next. I mean, just, how'd you like that? Well, Kris, we have some people to thank.
Yes, Spectrum, Country Club of Winter Haven, Echo Suites Lakeland, Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill, and Legoland Florida. We couldn't do this show or anything we do throughout our program of tourism and sports marketing in the county without great partners like them.
Yeah, well, they're putting back into the community and certainly, benefit all of us in Polk County. Well, our next live show, Kris, is January 26th. However, everyone, you can check your TV listings because this show re-airs up until the 26th. So make sure you check it out, everybody. Certainly hope you enjoyed the show today. Thanks so much to PGTV and the fantastic production crew we have here. This is Mark Jackson for Kris Keprios. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you again next time.